You're my child, I have the right to poison you. I'm allergic to fish/seafood. It's not the anaphylactic type of allergy, thank goodness, so I'm not going to die if I eat some, but I do throw up, have a stomachache and a massive headache for a few hours. Enough fish/seafood and I break out in small red hives over my arms. My mother didn't believe it, and as a child, I couldn't stand up to her properly. She'd force me to eat stuff with seafood or fish in it to prove I wasn't allergic, then ignore me as I was sick. One day, she held a dinner party. I was dressed up beautifully and trotted out to parade before the guests. At the time, I was around about 9, precocious for my age and absolutely fed up with my mother making me sick. When she held out a fish cutlet, fish cooked with vegetables, rolled into a ball, covered in batter and fried, for me to eat, I saw my chance. Me, loudly, I can't eat that, I'm allergic to fish. Mother, no, you're not. Eat it. Me, I am allergic. I'll throw up. No Asian mother will back down in front of guests for fear of looking like she can't discipline her child. My mother grabbed the fish cutlet, shoved it to my mouth and said in her most firm voice of command, "Eat." So I ate it. Cut to about 10 minutes later. I go up to my mother and tug on her sorry to get attention. Me, I don't feel well, barf. I vomited on her, on the expensive carpet and in full view of all the guests. My mother has a reputation for being a kind, generous, charitable and very religious woman, so in front of all the guests, she couldn't do anything except act sympathetic and send me off to bed to recover. She never made me eat fish or seafood again. I'm lactose intolerant. My grandma refused to believe it was a real condition and forced me to drink milk as a kid. I'd get horrible stomach aches, lot of gas, etc. She'd then blame whatever she thought was causing it, candy, computer games, and just kept repeating how I have to drink it so my bones grow properly. It's like there weren't any other ways to get calcium than an overdose of milk. That's awful, I'm so sorry she acted like that. Uneasy face. I think that back then, they just didn't have lactose intolerance as a diagnosis, so now older generations treat it like some newfangled thing that's been made up for attention or just a sign of how much weaker/frilier we are. It apparently never occurs to them that perhaps it was a thing back then, but either people didn't have ready access to milk all the time or people just didn't get diagnosed. It's always been a thing, and only a small percent of the population can even have milk products without complications. The rest of the population is lactose intolerant by toddlerhood. We aren't technically supposed to have lactose after being a baby. It's genetic mutation that happened.